Morné Morkel. Been with him for a little while. I think he knows the workings of the team, what's required of him as well, in order to bring the best out of the bowlers. And it obviously is working to some degree. It must be, because the bowlers have been excellent. Where to from here for Bumrah?
It's hard to go any further than the top of the tree, but yeah, I think India just need to continually keep him on ice for white ball tournaments. He doesn't need to play a lot of bilateral white ball stuff. I mean, he's the best bowler across all three formats. So test matches when required, and keep him on ice until World Cups. If he can continue to put these types of performances in. Obviously have a few weeks, as all these players will, have a few weeks off before the IPL, maybe 2.5 weeks. We haven't got the official dates for that yet, but they will enjoy a nice break. And all of these players will be in action again shortly. Kishan saying, maybe could I have got player of the match for my catching and my runs. 28th of March, they'll all be back in action. Maybe they'll enjoy celebration for a few days yet. I think Pandya looks like he's ready to go, ready to celebrate, as they fully deserve as well. One thing they do talk about often in interviews is the backroom staff and the job that all of the support staff, everyone underneath Gautam Gambhir, do. You mentioned Morné Morkel, Ryan Tendulkar, plenty of others involved in that backroom staff that have a huge role to play in this Indian side. And the players, to a man, they always mention who they are and how much of a part and the role they have to play in the success of this Indian side, and what it means to them as well. It'll be a huge thing as the players talk about what they do for their team and what they do to get them ready for these types of situations and games.
How worried would have India been after the loss to South Africa?
I think sometimes you don't want it, but sometimes you need it, just to wake you up again and remind you that it's not going to be plain sailing. It's not going to be that easy. We have to take every game and treat it with the utmost respect, no matter who we are playing against. Yes, South Africa were brilliant. They were a terrific opposition. They were the side of the group stages. They just faltered at the semi-final stage, but nothing away from what they provided throughout the tournament. But it would have lifted India as far as saying, we have to be on it. We have to be up and ready for every game. There is no one in this tournament that we can afford to take lightly, take the foot off the pedal at all for a moment, and you'll be behind the 8 ball, you'll be behind the game. From that time, although England pushed them and they were a couple of boundaries away in that semi-final, you always felt like India had that game in the bag, and they come here tonight and just absolutely obliterate a New Zealand side that has played some good cricket throughout the tournament. So yeah, they would have been worried to an extent, but it would have just woken them up to say, you know what, we need to be back on it, and we need to make sure we are.
Why have teams struggled to win when hosting? Why are they the first team to win?
Pressure of playing at home, expectation of your home crowd. Everybody looks at you and thinks you've probably got a slightly easier run without having to travel too much, although India travelled the country. They travelled everywhere, travelled to Sri Lanka. So they had as tough a road as anyone in the tournament as far as a host nation is concerned. Those teams who stayed in Sri Lanka probably had an easier run of things. They haven't done it on the back of an easy travel schedule whatsoever. It has been, you know, they try to please everyone around this massive country of India by taking a game to each province or each state. So they've had a pretty hectic travel schedule throughout the tournament, and they've prospered. So the pressure of playing in India at home, I think, is probably as great, if not greater, than playing anywhere at home in the world. So for them to be the first ones to do it, and to go back to back, I think just tells you where their cricket is at the moment, and the ability to bring young players through, the experience that they've still got post the Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma era, the Ravindra Jadeja era, is still there for all to see, and some of these players will be around for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years as well.
It's that fearlessness, isn't it? It just looked so fearless tonight. I don't know that New Zealand got things right in that power play in particular, but the way India approached that power play was really something to behold, and something for other teams to learn from as well, if they are going to keep up with how India plays the game. Because India have been the standouts. You can't take that away from them. The last 2 tournaments, obviously winning both, but losing just 1 game in 2 tournaments. And that just shows you that they are a standout in this format at the moment. How they approached the game with the bat today was just simply brilliant to watch. They haven't lost a game in this tournament setting a total, batting first. It's the first time that New Zealand have lost chasing in the tournament, but of course they were chasing a massive target and in a final as well. There's a lot that made that task very tough for New Zealand. It's just the approach for me that India have to this format. It just shows one, a faith in everybody within the side, just that fearlessness. But if I happen to fail, there is somebody who will pick it up, and that's not to say they're not taking responsibility, but it's just a faith and feel that they have in each other.
Yeah, and came into the tournament, I think many people were asked, many of us pundits were asked about a leading run scorer, and a lot chose Abhishek Sharma for that sort of leading run scorer in the tournament. I thought, you think who's going to go deep into the tournament? Who's going to make the semi-final? Probably the final. You think India, so you think Abhishek Sharma. His form in the last 12 months has been unbelievable. But he found a way to get out on a regular basis, and maybe this is the reinvigoration, the unearthing of the real Sanju Samson. He's a player that we've all seen for many, many years, and in local IPL, he's promised so much. He always looks $1 million when he plays his shots, when he walks out to bat. He finds a way to get out. In the last 3 games in particular, he's been brilliant. He carried that batting unit, simply superb. Maybe this is the rebirth of Sanju Samson 2.0, and his career might kick on from here as well.
Of course, they had to make a late change as well, with Harshit Rana being injured too, and he would have been a big part of this lineup for them. That sort of had to fill that hole a little bit as well. And no team wants to have any injuries, obviously, but it does happen. And going into a tournament, you have a 15 in mind, and then when you've got to replace a player, it can cause massive holes. And yeah, but so much depth that they were able to plug that hole pretty easily in the end. It didn't make too much of a difference, even though certainly would have been missed. I'm sure done well within the tournament. It's always sad to lose players through to injury. It's a man that probably don't talk about enough, Arshdeep Singh, as to what he obviously gives a lot of support, whether he opens with Hardik Pandya or even with Jasprit Bumrah. At times he's open with him as well, and he bowls at the toughest times. Gives them the option, obviously, of that natural variation in the left arm. But, I thought Arshdeep Singh was also very good in the tournament.
Yeah, and you mentioned his name a little while ago, but one of the unsung heroes of this Indian outfit is Akshar Patel. Fielding-wise, he will never let you down in the field, but if he's asked to go up the order and bat higher or bowl the tough overs in the power play, he's always there and always prepared to do it. He is one of the better all-rounders in world cricket. Vice-captaincy role sits well with him. Vastly experienced. At times it just goes under the radar as far as the mentions are concerned. 3 wickets tonight. I think that catch in the semi-final, was it Salt? Running back over his head. Would have been the Harry Brook one. It was just phenomenal. As I say, he's a gun in the field. He'll never ever let you down with ball in hand. And if he's asked to do any sort of a job with the bat, he will do that as well. So, times, I wouldn't say he goes forgotten, but a little bit unmentioned, Akshar Patel. To me, he's one of the unsung heroes of this outfit. Not the only one.
Obviously, we don't know what happens in the background, but you just feel like from a leadership perspective, he's there. We spoke about the fact that he's vice-captain. and also has that captaincy experience from the IPL too. But just a leader that definitely would have helped out Surya Kumar Yadav as well. Great moments for India, and moments that they will remember for a very long time. They look at team in a good space, and you cannot blame them. Right, the post-match presentation is ready for us now. Let's go down to Harsha Bhogle.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the post-match presentation after the final of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2026. We've had a magnificent tournament, and what a finale we've had in this great stadium. Nobody is left. They're all waiting here to witness the presentation. We've had some magnificent venues across India and Sri Lanka, and all told, it's been a tournament to remember. Over the past few weeks, some thrilling contests, outstanding individual performances, and so many unforgettable moments that have truly showcased the spirit of T20 cricket. There have been some wonderful stories along the way. The associate teams have demonstrated just how strong and competitive they are. One of my great joys was watching Nepal turn up, and I know they're not an associate country, but how good was Zimbabwe, how good were USA and the Netherlands in the matches they ran others so close in. They're now so close to bridging the gap with all the established sides. The tournament has also set new benchmarks off the field, becoming the best attended ICC Men's T20 World Cup in history, with 1.2 million fans in attendance across the course of this event, while also registering a world record 72 million concurrent streams, setting a new milestone in the history of our sport on Jio Hotstar. Coverage of the tournaments in many languages has reached fans in diverse parts of the world, bringing the excitement of the global event to truly widespread audiences. This is now genuinely a global sport that we're all so happy to be part of. So, congratulations to both teams on an extraordinary journey to the final. Your skill, your determination, and your passion have captivated fans around the world and helped make this tournament a truly spectacular celebration of the game. And so on behalf of the International Cricket Council, I would like to extend our sincere thanks to the hosts of this great tournament, the Board of Control for Cricket in India and Sri Lanka Cricket, as well as to our sponsors, the host broadcaster Jio Hotstar, broadcast and media partners, the players, match officials, volunteers, and above all the fans whose passion and support have made this event so special. Now, to welcome the presentation party, the Chief Executive of the ICC, Mr. Sanjog Gupta, Mr. Roger Toos, such a fine player himself, New Zealand Cricket Director and ICC Board Director, Mr. Devjit Saikia, BCCI Secretary, ICC Board Director, and Mr. Jay Shah, the ICC Chairperson. Now to reward the match officials. They will collect their medals from Mr. Sanjog Gupta, Chief Executive of the ICC, starting with that most experienced match referee, Mr. Andy Pycroft. Always there at ICC events, and wonderful to see him around. Well done, Andy, once again. Our on-field umpires today, Alex Worf. And alongside him, someone who's been such an integral part of so many World Cups as player and umpire, Richard Illingworth. They did not put a foot wrong in this final, did Alex Worf and Richard Illingworth. Well done, gentlemen. Our TV umpire, we didn't need a lot of him today, but he was brilliant right through, Mr. Alauddin Palekar. And now the fourth umpire, Mr. Adrian Holstock. Well done, gentlemen. It's now time to honor those that came so close, played magnificently right through this tournament. They played with great skill, with determination, and they are one of the most popular teams across the world, and dare I say, certainly here in India. Congratulations, New Zealand. Thank you very much. You have been absolutely magnificent. And you can hear that from this warm round of applause that you're getting here. Well done. Can I now invite the New Zealand team to come up and collect their medals, please, from Mr. Roger Toos, New Zealand Cricket Director and ICC Board Director, and Mr. Devjit Saikia, Secretary of the BCCI and an ICC Board member. Let's start with the mighty Finn Allen. 100 not out from 33 balls in the semi-final. What a player. Mark Chapman. Another very popular player here in India. Let's welcome Devon Conway. One of the players of 2025 across world cricket, Jacob Duffy. It may not have been his day today, but Lockie Ferguson, what a fine player. India's nemesis on so many occasions, Matt Henry. Kyle Jamieson. Even in the little part that he played, Cole McConkey. Daryl Mitchell. They remember you here, Daryl, for all your fine performances. And then Jimmy Neesham. The man who makes you think every ball is close by to him, Glenn Phillips. Rachin Ravindra. Another gun player, Tim Seifert. Inderbir Sodhi. And the captain and such a fine player for New Zealand and across the world, Mitchell Santner. And shortly we will be joined by Mitch Santner. Come along, Mitch. It's a difficult time to do this interview, but you can be so proud of what you achieved. What are your thoughts just now?
Yeah, firstly, that's it. I think proud of the boys to make it this far. Obviously, you know, we had some challenges throughout the tournament, but, you know, at each stage we kind of got through and put on a good show. Obviously, tonight we were outplayed by a very good team in front of a great crowd. So, yeah, but I guess proud of the boys.
Must make you wonderful that when the New Zealand players come up here in Ahmedabad, you get such a wonderful ovation.
Yeah, I mean, most games we play, it's always a great crowd, and to see a big sea of blue out there was obviously we're the home favourites, but yeah, I mean, credit to India to win a title at home is always comes with a lot of pressures, and I think, you know, Sky and the boys should be very, very proud of their work.
You couldn't have come so far in this tournament without doing a lot of things right. Finn Allen, Tim Seifert, yourself, what in your opinion did you do right in this tournament?
Yeah, I think we, you know, different guys stepped up at different times throughout every stage, and I think we were confronted with, you know, challenges throughout every stage, and, you know, it was nice to obviously get through, and, you know, obviously Super 8s, and then the semi-final we put on a pretty good show, but I guess tonight we were outplayed, but yeah, again, I think the boys should be very proud of their work.
You're always there, and you're a very popular team in this part of the world. I wish you well, Mitch.
Cheers, Asha.
Cheers. There you go, Mitch Santner, captain of New Zealand. It's time now to celebrate the champions. Can I invite the victorious Indian team to come forward and receive their medals from Mr. Jay Shah, ICC chairperson. A magnificent performance today. Many congratulations, and let's get them one by one. There'll be a huge cheer for this one. The magician, Jasprit Bumrah. He took so many wickets for India in this tournament, including today, Varun Chakravarti. Always there at the end, the giant Shivam Dube. So much energy in that body of his, Ishan Kishan. Always there whenever India needed him. Hardik Pandya. There isn't a major India game where he hasn't made a contribution. Let's welcome Akshar Patel. In many ways, the story of this tournament, Sanju Samson. India kept faith with him and he repaid that faith in the final. Abhishek Sharma. He came in at very short notice and made an impact in the match that he played. Mohammad Siraj. Coming up next, put your hands together, Arshdeep Singh. Always there in the field, Rinku Singh. Put your hands together for Washington Sundar. He bats wherever you ask him to. Tilak Varma. The very special Kuldeep Yadav. And finally, his moment as much as anybody else's, the captain, Surya Kumar Yadav. He's been through so much in his career, Surya Kumar Yadav, with bat as leader, kept faith with his key players. And when the moment came, the players rewarded him with a performance for the ages in the last 3 or 4 games especially. Come along, Surya, come along. Has it sunk in that you've created history? The first home team to win, the first team to retain the title. Has it sunk in?
I think it will take a little bit of time, but definitely very happy with what has happened today. It has been a long journey. Started post 2024 World Cup when BCCI at that time, Jay Bhai, that time Secretary, Rohit Bhai and everyone, they showed faith in me, gave me an opportunity to lead this wonderful side, and then it was a long cycle coming here again at the Shri Narendra Modi Stadium and doing it. I think it's a special feeling.
How do you keep the pressure of being favourites away? Everyone's talking about India being favourites. What was that the conversation in the dressing room as well, saying we are front runners, we'll do it?
I think we knew that we were playing some good cricket throughout the 2 years, and it was going really well. We just wanted to follow all the good habits which we followed in 2024 T20 World Cup. Tell the boys the same thing. What is the feeling of winning a World Cup? How do we want to play in the bilateral series? That taste which we want to take forward and go on to play a T20 World Cup. I think that was actually invited to everyone to the team, and boys took it really well.
It was particularly admirable that you kept faith with players. Whether it was Varun Chakravarti, whether it was Abhishek Sharma, whether it was Sanju Samson.
I think it's really important to understand what they are capable of, and I knew they had the match winners in them. I think the timing was perfect for Sanju to come in. Varun Chakravarti, Abhishek Sharma, world #1 players. We always knew that they had something special. No bigger stage than a final to do something, and also especially how Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, they have been in the circuit for a really long time, taking care of each other with all the support staff. I think it was very, very special.
Tell me how it is to have that magician Bumrah in your side.
That's what I said. Like how Sanju said in the last game, he wanted to give his man of the match to Jasprit Bumrah. Once in a generation bowler, I can call him as a national treasure right now, but he knows what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, the best in the business, and hopefully he keeps doing that.
They're all looking here. They're all looking here. They're waiting for you to go there. Surya Kumar Yadav, captain of India. It must be a fantastic feeling. And now you can go and receive your trophy from Mr. Jay Shah, chairperson of the ICC. And well done.
Thank you, Ahmedabad.
And this is the moment that you wait for in your career. In front of your home crowd, winning the ICC T20 World Cup for the second time. Ladies and gentlemen, Surya Kumar Yadav and Team India.
A moment to savour and remember. Some have done it already, and some it'll be new to them. Celebrate, India. You absolutely deserve it. Dominant in this final, and so good through the tournament. You had the favourites tag on your head, and you lived up to it. And then he said you would be in the final. Done it so easily in the end. What a performance by India. Just so special. Done it back-to-back as hosts. They've broken so many records, made history for themselves. Now, duly a moment for them to remember and certainly build on.
Yeah, and a new legacy begins for Indian cricket. The hands of Surya Kumar Yadav and white ball format. Hardik Pandya has a role to play in the leadership group. Moving forward, he's got back-to-back ICC Men's T20 World Cup trophies in his cabinet, as has that man there. As you said, Natalie, for some of the newer faces, some of the Abhishek Sharmas, the Sanju Samson had a great role to play, Tilak Varma. The others that may not have been there before will feel very, very special. Ishan Kishan celebrate as they should with the whole squad, all of the support staff. There he is. I think I saw Gigi crack a smile. Gautam Gambhir, the coach of this magnificent side. A terrific job throughout. Fully deserved. Front of a crowd of over 100,000. This magnificent stadium here, Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Say it again, credit to the groundsman, the curator and his staff. He's produced an absolute belter, a pitch worthy of an ICC Men's World T20 final. It was India who, as many predicted, as many expected, prevailed and prevailed in style. We'll celebrate long and hard, and rightly so. group that might be together, barring maybe one or two for the next edition as well. Always new players coming through this magnificent conveyor belt that produces talent here in this country. And a lot of these players are young enough to be at the next T20 World Cup as well. Who would bet against most of them being there, trying to go back to back to back?
Amazing to think that Kuldeep Yadav played just one game in the tournament. Somebody that has been so good for India, particularly in the ODI format. So good for them in that 2023 World Cup at home. Washington Sundar, Rinku Singh playing in their first T20 World Cup, getting the opportunity to play their first games in this T20 World Cup. And they'll go home with winners' medals. Got to have players like Hardik Pandya on your side, not just from a skills perspective, but for his personality, for the fact that he loves to play in pressure situations. He loves to play up to the crowd. You need these sort of players in. You will have other players that maybe are a little bit quieter, but he is somebody who loves a big stage. And if you don't have that, well, you can easily crumble under the pressure.
He's taken on a bit of that role that Virat Kohli used to play in the Indian side, where he would G the crowd up. You know, outside of Sachin, MS, he's right up there with the most beloved cricketers that this country has ever produced. But he used to G the crowd up, he'd throw his arms up in the air. Hardik Pandya does similar things. He thrives on, say, the attention. He thrives on the atmosphere. He thrives on the crowd and the people being behind him and his team. He's been a great support for the skipper as well along the way. The experience that he has in captaining in franchise level, captaining at the international level. And that is a smile that will be all over the newspapers around India and possibly different parts of the world tomorrow. The wide smile of Surya Kumar Yadav. I wonder if his wife's going to bake him a cake. After every victory, she bakes him a fresh cake. Might have to be a slightly bigger one tonight, I think, for him to celebrate with his team and his country, who have supported this World Cup along with Sri Lanka and the fans in that magnificent island nation as well. Supported this World Cup through thick and thin, no matter who played. It's been absolutely superb. I mentioned it already, but in excess of 1.2 million people through the turnstiles in both countries to watch games live. It's the moment we received the trophy and India went back to back.
So many of the crowd has stayed behind to watch them lift the trophy, see the fireworks that are playing out in the middle. Certainly fireworks from India right through the tournament as well. We followed them all around India and over to Sri Lanka as well. And they'll go home with the winners' medals. Certainly very, very well deserved. England took them close in that semi-final, but they've come through very well in this final. Seem to have the right plans. Tactically, were very smart today. Had a great approach. The message from the captain to his team before this final was, be courageous in the tough situations. And they certainly were. There's no doubt about that. ODI World Cup to look forward to as well for everybody next year in the men's format, taking place in South Africa, Zimbabwe and Namibia. So a change of format it'll be. And the very next year we'll move back to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Interested to see how this team will go in that 50-over format and how they'll adapt to it as well, having made the finals in 2023. Very different conditions though out in South Africa, Zimbabwe and Namibia. More players that are very experienced in the format, very experienced in the IPL as well. And experience, which we heard was spoken about by Bumrah in particular in the player of the match interview, that experience being so key for all of these players and key for him as well.
Yeah, and the fact that I think one of the major things that the IPL has done for this country is produce the young talent, but the ability to play on a big stage on a regular basis before you get to this national side, before you get to pull that blue jersey on and represent this great nation of India. You have experienced massive crowds, pressure moments, situations where you are tested time and time again over a long tournament period. And so when they come to tournaments like this one, which not a long tournament by standards of some we've had in the past, but it's a high pressure tournament at home. It's games within 2-3 days at times, different venues, different situations you have to overcome. Those moments that have been in and around India since 2008 in that tournament have produced those players. And lovely shots there of family, friends, all celebrating and all looking for just a minute, a moment of something from their heroes. It's been absolutely superb.
I think this is the moments that count, isn't it? It's the time with families that would have supported them all the way through their development as cricketers, through the ups and downs. And those downs is when your family is always there for you. Many would have come through a lot of adversity. They've all always spoken about the family support that they have. And these are moments that are so important for players, for the families as well, that recognition of the families and their part that they have to play as well. Everybody will get their chance with the trophy too. Never quite understood the biting of the medal, but many do it. Yeah, why not? If you're the one who's won the medal, you can do whatever you want with it.
Just making sure it's real gold. Is that what it was all about? As long as it's not a soft metal and you can bite through it. I don't know. Gold is quite a soft metal, though, isn't it? I'm not sure what it's about either. Probably started in the Olympics with someone. Yeah. Just carried on in all sports across many nations. What a part he played too, Shivam Dube. The power that he possesses through that middle to lower order. Saw him for the first time after a while in that recent New Zealand-India bilateral series. He trimmed down, he worked really hard to get his fitness levels up. His bowling was on song. His family moment there for Tilak Varma as well. Jasprit Bumrah, whose wife has been working throughout the World Cup, throughout this ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Been working but keeping a close eye on Team India and her husband. And performing brilliantly.
What about the philosophies of Gautam Gambhir and how he coaches the side? What do you think he might be looking towards next? And is there another level that he wants to take this team to?
Probably depends a little bit on the players at his disposal, and he's got all sorts of talent. There was a lot of talk about could India post 300. I don't think it's about a number. It's just about dominance. And Gautam Gambhir is a winner. He wants to win and loves to win as much as anyone. And I think the fact that he was able to overcome that, he talked about the injury at the start of the tournament to Harshit Rana. They chopped and changed a little bit through the tournament. Washington Sundar, Kuldeep, you mentioned, played the one game. Siraj had to jump in that first game for Jasprit Bumrah. And they finally figured out that top three combination. They couldn't work out whether they could get all three, Abhishek, Sanju and Ishan Kishan, into the same side. but eventually they did. It meant Rinku Singh had to move to the bench, but that top three at different stages throughout the tournament all put in performances. It took Abhishek a while. It took him to the final to really put a significant performance on the board, but I think they always have faith, and that's what Gautam Gambhir has instilled. And when you talk to the players, when you hear from the players, they talk about that belief that he's instilled in them and the ability to just play your game. We want to be aggressive. Providing the shot you play, if you do get out, is in your range, in your arc, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to chastise you. I'm not going to berate you for playing a shot that is in your arc and the ball is there. If your execution's slightly off, that's okay. We can work on that. But I want you to continue to be aggressive. And I think that's the way he will move going forward. And as I say, so much talent in abundance in this country. When you look at the next level down, players that are on the verge or could have made this World Cup side for India, sitting, waiting in the wings. Crowd have stayed for probably this moment. Yes, the trophy lift was lovely. They've kind of poured their way forward in the grandstands, as close as they can be to that fencing surrounds this magnificent ground. Just want to get a glimpse of their team. The trophy, the players want to say thanks. Thanks for the support. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for being by our sides. Thanks for buying the tickets and coming to watch us. And that's what these moments are all about. The fans just get a little glimmer, a little glimpse of their heroes.
Talking about sticking with India, how do other teams stick with India? Because you look at post the last World Cup in T20 internationals, they have a win percentage of over 85% in T20 internationals. How do other teams then catch up to India?
Well, I think England are trying to play the similar brand, and they came incredibly close in that semi-final against India. The one team in the tournament that you felt, with a batting lineup as deep as they've got, could have pushed India, and they did push them. You can't want to play like someone else. You still have to have your own identity, I think, as far as a game goes. But what India have showed in a semi-final and a final, posting scores in excess of 250, that's now the benchmark. It's not going to be the norm, but it's now the benchmark. If you want to beat India batting first, you've probably got to look at 225, 230 minimum to make them feel any semblance of pressure. So how do we then go about that? How do we build for the next ICC Men's T20 World Cup with a view in mind that, providing the surfaces are good, providing the pitches play their role, how do we build a team in the next 2 years in our bilateral tournaments that can score 220, 230 in a 20-over contest? Because that's the only way we feel that we're going to test this Indian side. So that's a question for all the other teams in the world at the moment. Some are trying to play that way. Some have been successful at times, and sometimes you're not. But I think they just have to try and find a way to play with that similar belief and similar capabilities without maybe the depth of talent that India are able to call on.
Spoke about the associates early on and how well they did within the tournament. I thought USA was one of the standout teams with how they performed. Nepal, of course, coming so close against England, and who knows, maybe a extra bit of experience that it might have been a slightly different result for them. Because when you're in those situations and have been there, done that, you know how to handle it, and you know how to sort of push through. It's getting to a stage now where those results, where associate nations are pushing the test nations, is becoming more the norm, really, than anything else. Not so long ago, you're looking at it and you're going, all right, well, that's a bankable game, all due respect. Now things are starting to level out, and franchise cricket having a big part to play in all of that. Obviously, players getting an opportunity then around the world to play with some of the best, play with also some of the best coaches around the world too, and in different conditions. What are the associate nations, do you think they possibly have to do ahead of the next edition?
Well, I think when we talk about the growth of the game, globally. We talked about how much I love, and I think we both agree on the 20-team format for this tournament. The Associate Nations had a huge role to play. They were brilliant and made the tournament what it was. Whether it's an ICC directive or whether it's an individual board situation, but I would love to see the full member nations, any full member nation that's touring South Africa, go to Namibia on the way, play a game. Windhoek's a great place. It is a magnificent place. Go there and play one game.
State-of-the-art ground now as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Play a game and then pop down to South Africa. You can fly in, you can play a game, you can fly to South Africa the next day. So you're giving those boards something to organise as far as a full-scale international match is concerned. Go to Nepal. Anyone going to England, choose Netherlands, choose Scotland, I'd choose Netherlands personally, but choose any one of those places to pop to and have a game on your way to England. It takes one day earlier. You need to leave your country. I know the international schedule is packed, I get that, but surely you can find one day earlier to go to some of those associate nations and play a game of cricket in their backyard, rather than the only time you see them is at a World Cup. One game might mean the world. It might make a massive difference to young boys and girls who actually get to see their superstars from overseas in their own backyard and may want to take up the game, may want to pursue a career in the game that we all love and has given us so much. So that's something I would like to see. And as I say, I don't know whether it's an ICC directive or whether they have any control over that, or whether it is probably more so an individual board situation. And we're prepared to go a day or two early and drop in, whether it be, as I say, any one of those countries I mentioned, plus others, Canada, UAE, it's a general stop off for a lot of players, USA on the way down to the Caribbean to play the West Indies. They've all got very, very good facilities. The cricket is growing. The people are there that love it. There's enough good support in and around the game. So what can we do as full member nations to provide a little bit of help for the next tier, so that World Cups continue to be competitive like this one has been? Yeah, maybe if you're going down to New Zealand, you could just call into Australia and give them a game.
Well, they are a team that's got a little bit of work to do, I'm afraid. Australia would be pretty disappointed with the fact that obviously they went out in that first round, but how good was Zimbabwe? They were an absolute standout. It was wonderful to watch Zimbabwe winning against Australia and Sri Lanka. They were very well led by the captain in Sikandar Raza, standout in Blessing Mazrubani as well, and of course the famous Ian Bennett, Brian Bennett. What a tournament he had, so consistent, just sensational he was. Just an opportunity to get close to the stars, close to their heroes. As we said, there'll be new heroes developed, there'll be young boys and girls watching, and they'll be inspired as well. You can't be what you can't see. They have seen stars tonight and through the tournament as well. We're just about ready to say goodbye to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And of course, we'll continue to celebrate India's achievements this year. But also coming this year is a very exciting tournament to look forward to, the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. That will be happening with England taking on Sri Lanka for the opening game. 12-team tournament it is. The final will be at Lord's on the 5th of July, and that starts on the 12th of June. Well, we thank you so much for your company through the tournament. Thank you to everyone.